Hey y'all, today, as you can tell by the title of this video, we're just gonna jump right in and I'm gonna give you guys my first impressions and review of the Casey Holmes Physicians Formula Butter Collection box. I'm not gonna lie, I've already played around, gotten a taste of what's inside the box, but I figured as I was, testing, touching, playing with everything, I was like, wait, stop, I need to, film a video on this. So let's just go ahead and open her up. I think it's just such a beautiful collection, just looking at it. It's presented beautifully. The packaging is really fun. And I love the layout of everything. It's basically like what Casey said in her video. I'm sure you guys have already watched it. Basically, you can create a whole look in just this box, which I really appreciate, and I wanted to test out today with you guys together. So I do already have a base on. I've already tried the lips, so if you're wondering what's on my lips, of course, it's the Pop the Bubbly lip cream. So let's go ahead and take that out of the box just so I can give you guys a better idea. I already swatched it on my hand here for you as well. It really truly glides on like a butter, a very buttery, soft, smooth formula. Again, it's called Pop the Bubbly. It's a really cute name. I love the shade. And after watching Casey's video with her initially launching a collection and talking about everything, I'm kind of on the same page with her in terms of metallic lips. I don't think I have a single metallic lipstick or lip gloss in my entire collection. So this is a first for me, and after putting it on, trying it out just for the past couple minutes here, I agree. This doesn't look like it's too much. It's really soft, it's smooth, it's more of a shiny, glossy finish and not so much super metallic. So I really appreciate that. So depending on what your thoughts are with that, I really think you'll like this product in the box. And again, I don't know if y'all can see this. I apologize for my poor swatch and poor lighting. I'm using natural light and it's very dark outside, unfortunately. So this video may not be super helpful for you, but I just really wanted to get this done and put this up. So that's the lippy. Let's move on to the other items in the box. I've already sprayed the perfume, so you get a nice little 0.5 fluid ounce perfume in here, the Butter Paradise Eau de Toilette. I sprayed it on my hand and man, it just smells wonderful. And you know what it reminds me of? This just came to me. It reminds me of the Sol de Janeiro, the Copacabana, the body cream and the liquid bronzer. It reminds me of that same scent. So if you have any idea of what that smells like, you'll get an idea of what the perfume smells like as well. So I think, and Casey said all the notes in her video, so I want to always refer you back to her because this is her collection. I really encourage you guys to check out that video too, just in case I miss anything, because I'm hoping that everything she said in her videos obviously runs true, which I'm sure it does. So I sprayed it on my hand. It smells really good. It's got that sandalwood, definitely that strong sandalwood under the note, undertone, whatever you want to call it. I'm not the best at reviewing fragrances, but I smell the sandalwood, I smell the vanilla. To me, it also kind of reminds me of, that classic, like, almond, pistachio, creamy, delicious scent with, like, a little bit of sunscreen, which sounds weird, but like, yeah, smelling it now, like, it's definitely that Butter Paradise, like, beachy inspired kind of tropical scent with a little bit of sunscreen. So if you don't like the smell of sunscreen, maybe you won't like it, but I actually really do, oddly enough. So I'm just gonna leave it at that in terms of the perfume. So moving on to the other things we have in the box, the only thing I've swatched so far is the highlighter. So let's just go ahead and swatch that again because I have some thoughts. So I'm just gonna gently, let me tell you, this is like barely press it. You don't have to press hard at all to get a really decent payoff, at least on your finger. Now I know with a brush it'll be different, but I'm just gonna gently, yeah. I mean, this stuff is pigmented. She was not kidding when she said that. It does have little micro glitters in here too, so I apologize. Again, you're probably not even gonna be able to see it with my poor lighting, but hopefully, you get a little bit of an idea of that. It's a very nice, soft white gold finish. It's not too yellow, I don't think, but it's got some like white or like silver micro glitter. So I'm curious to see how that looks on the face, which I'll put all the stuff on my face too in a second here. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys that initially. Very pigmented, very buttery smooth. I mean, my goodness, they're certainly not kidding when they're saying, you know, butter collection, everything. It's the same texture to me as, you know, the regular bronzer and blushes that they have. I do own a couple of others of those. I have a blush and I have a bronzer that just stand alone as well. So I am familiar with the texture and the formula of this range. So I'm excited to test all these out on my face, and I'm sure they will just match up perfectly fine. So let's swatch the bronzer and the blush next, and then I'll do the eyeshadows. So I guess, oh, and I don't know if I mentioned, the name of a highlighter is just called Just Beachy. Love it, cute name. Sounds perfect. Definitely beachy, reminds me of like the sunshine of the beach. So very cool, very tropical. So the blush here is called Copacabana. So I'm curious, yeah, this kind of, it feels the same as, you know, all the other butter powders that they have. Oh, and you know, I like how, you know, at least with just a finger swatch, it doesn't seem too like it's not too overly pigmented, it's not too strong or intimidating. So that's that right there. Again, sorry if you can't see it that well, but I don't really see much of a sheen. Maybe a very soft, very understated kind of sheen with that Copacabana blush. So yeah, it seems a little bit coppery to me, but not, I guess more of like a red, kind of like a reddish blush. So coppery red, I guess we'll just go with that. So I don't know if you can tell, but just based on a finger swatch, gosh, it blends out beautifully. It looks really nice, at least with my skin tone. I'm sure a whole bunch of skin tones could get away with this as well, you know, from really fair like me to super dark. It's kind of good that hopefully this will be really buildable, and you can, you know, increase the pigmentation on your cheeks with a brush if you choose. So that looks beautiful. And let's move over to the bronzer. So I'm not familiar with the deep bronzer, so I'm really glad I picked this up just to see. Hopefully we'll be able to tell, at least on someone really super fair like me. I'm sure I'm fairer than Casey is. So let's try this deep bronzer. I'm just gonna swatch it really quick. Oh my gosh, and that, man, is just super soft, super, super soft. So here we go, we're just gonna swatch that. And yeah, okay, so yeah, it's dark, but it's not, it doesn't seem too dark. I'm hoping that with a brush on me, hopefully I can blend it out and, you know, make it a little softer, because it does look a little dark. I don't know if y'all can see that again. I'm sorry for the poor quality of this, but at the end of the day, swatches don't really matter anyway. So this is just kind of give you a little bit of an idea and get a little familiar with the product. But yeah, I mean, and of course everything smells like the Butter Paradise perfume as well. So yeah, that looks really nice. Again, really soft satiny formula. I think satin is probably like the word I would use to describe the finish of these. So while we're here, let's just go ahead and move into the eyeshadow. So I'll hold this up for you guys again, just so you can kind of see what everything looks like. So we have Do Not Disturb, which is this pale creamy shade. No Filter, which is this, you know, darker brown color here. Next we have Tropic Like It's Hot. Oh, that's a cute name. I love that too. And then we have Palms, which is that beautiful, nice, shimmery green shade right there, which I'm a huge fan of. So let's get into some swatches. I'm going to switch hands here because this one's already swatched up. So give me a moment. I'm just going to kind of carefully press my fingers in. Hopefully not too hard, because everything's so soft and buttery smooth. I don't want to like smudge it everywhere. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, pretty. Oh yeah, I'm a fan already, just based on my poor swatches. So that's a good sign, I guess. If you're not the best swatcher and you're still impressed, then that's a good sign. So Do Not Disturb, the creamy shade, it doesn't even show up on me. That's like pretty much my same skin tone, which I guess is good because I like that when I'm first laying down like a base on my eyes. And then we have No Filter right here. So again, apologies for the probably misleading colors here in terms of the lighting. And then we have Tropic Like It's Hot right here, a slightly deeper reddish brown shade, and then Palms, which I went really light on this, so on the eyes and using a brush that's a little more dense. That might show up a little bit darker, but it's kind of nice how it doesn't seem very intimidating based on a first, you know, really light swatch. So really nice, shimmery, very, you know, very soft. Like none of these I think the first 3 shades are matte or at least satin, and then the green, I believe she said it was supposed to be shimmery, but it doesn't look too overkill, you know? So if you're like kind of new to makeup and you're not, you know, you don't want like a super heavy, intense look, I'm sure that you'll still get what you want with these and it won't be too intimidating for you. So in order for me to back that up, let's go ahead and start putting some of this stuff on my face. So I have my brushes right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of go with it. So first let's use the bronzer. I'm gonna go in with my Morphe E52, kind of a nice, it's a very uniquely shaped brush, so just to give you guys an idea of what that looks like, I'm just gonna kind of swirl it in gently, because I know it's a little bit dark for me, so I'm just gonna kind of, ooh, I'm not even gonna swirl it. Yeah, this is coming off super dark, so kind of powdery, but I don't have a problem with that, so I'm just gonna kind of tap off a little bit of the excess, and I'm just gonna gently like hope this blends out and doesn't look, you know, too much, which oh, it looks pretty good. I'm happy. Yeah, I say if you're just super fair, just go in with a really super duper light hand and that bronzer will last you forever. I currently have just the original bronzer, so I know that works for me. But you know, if I ever wanted, like, let's say during the summer, if I ever, you know, not that I get tan, but if I ever like self-tan or if I just happen to get a little more color from the sun, this might be perfect. So yeah, oh, I really like that. So just one really soft application there. I'm just gonna go in on the other side, just barely tap my brush in because I also really like this brush and know it's high quality, so it's good that the powder blends out easily, and I know the brush isn't picking up too much, but it's pretty densely packed for a big brush, so I know that yeah, I could even go in, I'm just gonna even go in with just a little more because I'm happy with this. So kind of tap off the I'm gonna put some on my nose actually, because on me that looks a little more natural. So yes, I already have my base on, as you can tell. I'm just gonna kind of go in with the extra on the perimeter of my face. Yeah, I'm really happy so far with how this looks. I'm assuming it's the same formula. They already sell this on its own, at least the bronzer, so I'm just gonna kind of gently use that around the sides of my face. And yeah, I think it looks good. I'm happy that this came with the collection. I was a little nervous about the bronzer being too dark, but just going carefully, you know, like I said, use a light hand. Don't put too much on if you're super fair, but also that will definitely build up because I can already tell if I go in with much more, it would be too much on me. So just, I think that's a good, smart choice for her that she put in the deep bronzer in this because I know, I feel like Physicians Formula does a good job with their butter powders, so good choice on that. And then I'm going to switch my brush now to something different. So we're going to use this Bobbi Brown, I think it's just the cheek brush or the face brush, I don't know, it doesn't have anything on it, but that's what it looks like. This is a little softer, a little less dense, really wonderful working with blushes and other powders. So I'm going to go in with that Copper Cabana blush. I'm just going to like gently put that in there, and we're just going to apply that on top. Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. I really like this shade. And see, it builds up quickly. I just tapped it, you know, like 2 or 3 times, you know, gently, very softly. And I love that, you know, really rosy flush to the cheeks. This is perfect, I think. Again, kind of same with that deep bronzer. They work really well together. This will suit a lot of skin tones, so if you're very fair to very deep, I think, you know, again, another smart move for her to put that particular shade in here. You know, initially launching that. I like to put some blush on my nose as well, just with whatever's left over, and I'm gonna softly do the other cheek as well. Yeah, I think this is perfect from what I can tell so far. Beautiful texture, beautiful color. I'm a fan. And if it's anything like the other butter blush I have, I know that it'll last well on the face and look beautiful throughout the day. So I just kind of dust whatever's left over. Oh, my hair's going funny. On the rest of my face, just to kind of even out my skin. I already have a lot of natural redness and pinkness to my skin, so on me this looks pretty natural. Okay, so man, see, with just a couple taps, that's definitely enough. That blush is gonna last you for a long time, so I really like that. And it's not too like glowy or dewy or like, you know, shiny looking. I really like that too. I think Casey was right in her video when she described it as, you know, a really nice like from what I took away, it's like a really nice satin finish. So it's not matte, but it's also not super dewy and glowy, because I have really oily skin, so I'm not a huge fan of that. I feel like I didn't, there we go. I didn't bring it down as far over here, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, oh yeah, that looks better. Oh, I love it. I love that color. And so now finally the highlight. So that's the super fun part, I think, that everyone's really looking forward to. So I'm just gonna kind of gently tap in. And oh my gosh, yeah, I feel like that's the last. So I'm gonna tap off the extra and just gently graze the top of my cheekbones. Yeah, so definitely there's glitter in this, but like, I think I like it. Because usually I don't like glitter highlights, like that's not my thing. But I feel like if you also use like a setting spray on top of this, it'll help like keep it, you know, on the skin and not like go everywhere. So I'm gonna bring that on my brow bone too. I know, I'm sorry if you guys can't really see well again, but I'm just kind of, I'll talk you through my initial thoughts, and I'm gonna bring the extra down on my nose, just whatever's left over on the brush, and then I'll do my other side. Yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna bring the mirror a little closer to me just so I can see a little better. Let's flip that back. Ah, gosh, I actually, you know, I really like that. Next time I might even use a smaller brush than this just to get a little more precise application, because it blends so well. So like, if you don't want it like all over your cheek, maybe use a more precise brush, but I really like that. Yeah, and if it was lighter in here, I feel like I'd be able to see better, but from what I can tell, I really like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side as well, so I can just even everything out, just barely. Again, kind of powdery. Just gonna tap that off a little bit, and then just like gently blend that onto the top of the cheek, onto the brow, even up on the side of my forehead a little bit, so really get the temples. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, despite it being glittery, I think this would be really beautiful on like, on the days where like you're not wearing a lot of makeup. I feel like it's probably better for that if you want to just like have your highlight stand out more. I mean, on a full glam day, obviously that'd be great too, but like I just imagine myself using this, like if I want my highlight and like my skin to be the focus of the look, then I'll definitely go in with this highlight. But yeah, and you know, and I like how it's not too yellow of a gold either, because I don't know, I prefer like cooler tone highlights. Like if it's like got a white base, I really like that. So I think this is like a nice white gold. You know how like NARS Albatross, I think, has like that white gold, that kind of shift. I don't know, I'm probably not explaining that well, but if you've been around and you like NARS Albatross highlight, I think you know what I'm talking about. This really reminds me of that. Just this has more like that silver glitter in it. So based on what I see, yeah, I mean, I want to look at that swatch again just to make sure I'm describing that right. Yeah, like that's really what I see, but it's not like, it's not unwearable. It's totally wearable. Again, I feel like with all this stuff, you're gonna go in with a really light hand. Like, don't go too ham. Unless that's your kind of thing, totally fine. But yeah, from what I can tell, I'm gonna put some of that on the Cupid's bow as well. Yeah, I'm a fan of this, and I was expecting to be a fan of this as well, so just to kind of give you guys a better idea of like where I'm coming from, like I wasn't really too skeptical of anything other than maybe the bronzer. I was scared it was going to be maybe a little too dark for me, but the other perfect thing that I'm so glad that Casey mentioned, she had this in her message and in her video as well. You can use this highlight and this bronzer and even the blush, you can use them as eyeshadow too. So even if you're even more pale than I am, you can definitely go in, you know, use the bronzer as a transition shade, use the highlight, you know, obviously as an inner corner highlight or on the lid. You could use the blush if you like more of a red, copper toned eyeshadow. You can use that as an eyeshadow. So I'm really glad that Physicians Formula, you know, had that in mind, and that Casey had that in mind. So pro tip, like definitely take advantage of everything, even if you don't think everything is going to work for you in the palette, like on your face, use it on the eyes. I mean, I think that's a really smart idea on their part. So I'm just going to go in, let's start using the eyeshadows now. I mean, we're already here at this point. Let's see, what did I want to do? Oh yeah, first I am going to go in with the Do Not Disturb shade, so the pale creamy shade right here. I feel like that's going to blend in with my skin just pretty well. I'm going to be using my Eco Tools blend brush. It just says blend, it's dual ended, and it's got a little smudge brush on the other end. So I'm going to use the crease side, the blend side, and I'm just going to kind of put this all over Oh yeah, that's nice. Like that really, like, I can tell instantly, like, brightened my eyes. So it's not even exactly the same shade as me, but it's even a little bit, it's a little more pale. So it really brightened up that as a base, which is really cool. I mean, I like shades like that. So I know I could even use this on its own if I just kind of wanted a no makeup look, but I wanted to brighten up my eyes. This is good. So at least for me and my skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other eye. Again, these are really, like, soft and very, you know, there's a little bit of kickback, which I don't mind. I just kind of, you know, blow it to the side and then it goes away. So that's another note of reference that I'm picking up on. So there's the other eye. Gosh, I mean, yeah, I mean, this doesn't take hardly any time to blend out. So that's really nice. I don't think I'm going to use all of the shades. What do I want to do? I mean, yeah, if you've seen Casey's video, you've seen her use all the shades. So I wasn't going for a green eye today, but I'll use at least no filter, and then I'll see how I feel from that point, because I think it'll clash with my shirt. But I'll go ahead and use that highlighter on my eyes today as well, and maybe even that blush to kind of add a little bit of a different texture to it. So now I'm going to go in with no filter, just softly with that same crease brush, and I'm going to really tap off the excess here because I don't want to pick up too much. I'm just going to kind of softly really smoke this out. I'm going to tap that on the lid first because I think I want more of it on the actual lid because I have really deep set eyes. So I'm going to go in on the lid first and then use the rest and blend it out on the crease and maybe even a little higher. Yeah, so I'm going to open up my eye now and just kind of blend that. Yeah, so see, it's coming out lighter on my eyes than I think it did in her video, and even initially, you know, compared to the shade, like compared to this, you know, obviously, like, you can be really careful with it and it can be very wearable for a day look if you just go in with a light hand and blend everything out really well. So I'm cool with that. So let's see if it builds up a little more. I'm going to take that again, that no filter shade. Man, that's so soft, very, very soft, which I appreciate. And again, I'm going to tap that on the lid first to kind of get that base color down, and then I'll blend it out just back and forth. Yeah, so it definitely builds up, as you can see. I'll try not to cut too much out of the video just so you can kind of see everything happen in real time. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's pretty. That's really pretty. And I think this is totally appropriate for daytime. So I'm just going to go in with that blush shade, I think, on the lid. And then I'll call it a day after that. Well, and then I'll use the highlight shade. But in terms of, like, adding pigment and darkness, I think this is what I'm going to end up with. So I'm not going to use the last two on the eyes today, but maybe I'll make another video with, like, a follow-up or something using those two shades, because I really love green. So yeah, that's really pretty. It doesn't take hardly any time to blend out. I'm just kind of taking my time because I'm talking, but that's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, just really quick. No filter. So tap, and then I'll blend that out, and I'll add one more layer after this one, and that's it. Yeah, so this time I was a little less fearful, and I think I took a little bit more, so I don't even have to add that much more to match the other side. But I'm glad that I went in softly at first, because I'm not trying to go for anything super dark today, but I'll just, yeah, that's really pretty. And again, it's a matte, but it doesn't look dead, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look super flat. Like, it's a very creamy finish. So yeah, I'll just go in with, like, hardly any more. I'm gonna do the same thing, tap it on the lid first with this fluffy brush, and then just softly and gently blend it out. Yeah, so I hope you can tell and see that they blend out super quick. And these brushes are great too, of course, but I'm sure you'll be able to make this work with whatever you have on hand. And the other exciting thing that I think you can make work, and am I gonna try with my finger? I don't know. I'll think about it. But you can definitely go in with your fingers too and give that a try. I'm sure you'll definitely get a more heavy application with that, so be careful. But I think that's another smart thing with this formula in particular that you could definitely accomplish. So yeah, I really like the way this looks. Hopefully you guys can tell a little bit better. I'm gonna stop there with the reddish tones, and I think what I'm gonna do, do I want to use that blush? Let's use the, I'll use the blush on my lower lash line. How about that? So it can add a little bit of a different color just to try it out, you know. We'll just do that. Let's give it a fair shot. So just so I can demonstrate what I was referring to a couple minutes ago, I'm just gonna take on that smudge end, so that smaller end of my brush, I'm taking that Copper Cabana shade, and I'm gonna smoke this under the lash line. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Blends like no problem. Looks really pretty. It isn't too dark, but like, see, like compared to like that same color on my cheek, like you never would have guessed, I think, that this same color was on my cheek. So yeah, that's pretty. Okay, same thing, other eye. I don't even need to do anything else. So that's super quick, super easy. And oh my gosh, like seriously, it blends out so well. Like I don't need to press my eye hard. Like I'm really using a light touch. I love that. So I think this is perfect for a day look, and like if you wanted to finish that off with like a cream colored or like a flesh toned eyeliner on your inner rim, like that would like really make your eyes stand out and look really bright and nice. But you could also do the same thing like with a night look. You could just add like a really deep brown or a deep reddish brown or black to the lower lash line and like really like kind of smudge it out and make it look super dark and smoky. So you could really switch this up any way you want. So yeah, that's that. And I think what I'm going to do to kind of finish that off, I'm going to take that Just Beachy highlighter. I'll use the smudge side of my brush again. I'm going to highlight the inner corner. So I'm going to demonstrate that. Yeah, that's really pretty, really nice. I think Casey used this on her lid in her look, which was really pretty, but I'm just going to kind of keep it here just so you guys can hopefully see that. Oh my gosh, I love that. And that glitter like just catches the light. It seems really nice. So yeah, that's pretty. And on my fair skin, like it's hard to like have inner corner highlights show up on me. So I think I'm gonna be using this a lot on my eyes for sure, definitely. Because the only thing that I've really noticed that actually really highlights my skin is Becca's Pearl, which is basically like a white icy silver highlight. And I appreciate that, but it's just kind of hard to find stuff for like super pale skin. But this is really pretty. And again, I like how it's not too yellow. So hopefully you guys can see that a little better. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop there with the eyes, okay? So that's that. That's my full look. Let's put on some mascara really quick. You know what I just realized? I totally forgot to bring my brow stuff out here, but that's okay. I'll just do that on my own. No big deal. You guys don't care about the brows right now anyway, I'm sure. So I'm just gonna finish off my look with some mascara, just a nice light coat, and that way you can get like the full effect of what everything looks like. Right now I'm using L'Oreal's Voluminous Original Carbon Black mascara. It's the carbon black version, so that's the important distinction. They have the regular Voluminous Original. That's definitely black and definitely awesome, but this carbon black version I'm definitely super in love with, and I don't think I could go back to the original after using this one. So if you're looking for a drugstore mascara recommendation, I definitely recommend this one. Oh, and I can still smell like I can still smell the products. They all smell really good. That typical, you know, butter scent. Really nice. Finishing off the lower lashes carefully so I don't smudge my eyeshadow. Yeah, oh, that's so pretty. I love how that turned out. And looking at it now, I don't think it's too dark. It's perfect for daytime. Nothing too crazy. You could, of course, jazz it up with that deeper color. What's it called? The Tropic Like It's Hot. You could add that, you know, even more on the lower lash line and like the outer corner of the eye. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I talked about the lip. Let's actually, oh, there is something else about the lip that I wanted to mention. So as you can see, like I twisted it up once or twice, so you get, you know, that much off of the top, but I found out you can't twist it, like, you can't twist it back down. So it's like those Marc Jacobs lippies too, where like once you twist it up, you can't twist it back down, so be really careful with that. That's the only disappointing thing I think about this entire butter collection that I've noticed, at least based off of a first impression. That's a real bummer. I kind of wish she had brought that up in the video, but then again, I'm sure if she brought it up, it probably wouldn't have been like everyone's favorite thing. But yeah, so be careful with twisting these up. I'm gonna use a little bit more of it just to give you guys a better effect. Oh yeah, it just glides on like a chapstick or like a lip balm. Really nice. Yeah, so I just layered up a little bit more. Yeah, oh, I'm so sad you can't twist it down. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with it kind of sitting up there. So just be careful when you're taking off the cap and putting it back on once you've already twisted it up. But hopefully that isn't a deal breaker for you. Man, this whole box is $20, so you get all those powders, you get the eyeshadows, blush, bronzer, highlight, this, and the perfume, all for $20. I think that's an incredible deal. I mean, Casey, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, regardless of, you know, everything, I think you killed it with this collection. You did an amazing job. I really wish you the best success with all of this, you know, selling out. I hope it continues to sell out. I wish it's gonna stick around forever, but unfortunately the limited edition factor is there. But anyway, for whoever's watching, let me just finish this video and close out by saying thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Go watch Casey's video. Go support her. You should be able to pick this up at Ulta online and Physicians Formula online. I'll try and link everything below. I bet it's sold out already again because I got this the second time around when I saw it on Ulta, but I really hope y'all can get your hands on it. I really think it's worth it. $20 well spent. And if you have an Ulta coupon, maybe I think you can use it like a $3.50 off coupon. I think you can use it towards the collection, but if not, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help you guys save money if you're looking for more of a deal. But look, I would pay double the amount of money. I would pay $40+ or $50 even for this whole box. Like, I really do recommend it for anyone of like all ages, skin tones, skin types. I really think, Casey, you crushed it with this collection. I'm just super proud of you, and congratulations on your pregnancy. That's amazing as well. And I'm just gonna end it there. So again, thank you to all who have watched this. Maybe no one, but that's okay. Have a blessed day, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.